How's it going? Questions?
Dan, the whole Brian Branch situation, now you've already addressed it at the game, but obviously he was frustrated with Juju, and that led to some of his outbursts or whatever. How do you tell him? How can you tell him how to constructively manage that frustration?
He knows. He knows that. We've talked about it. I saw him yesterday before all this came down, and so it's he understands all that. You know, he knows he can't react that way, and he'll be better for this. So he'll learn from it.
It's an emotionally charged game, obviously, very physical, a lot of stuff going on. How do you tell the players, all the players, not just him, how to kind of walk that line of staying, aggressive, emotionally invested, all that stuff, but being smart so that you don't hurt the team?
Yeah, well, our guys know that. I mean, look, this is one instance of something that happened, and it doesn't matter what led to it. We all know it's no different than you driving down the road and something happens on the highway, right? You can't take out your aggression on somebody else. Can't cross that line. Our players know that. Brian knows it. He's fine. He'll learn from this and be better. Listen, he's an outstanding young man. He really is, and he's got a big heart. And he made a mistake, and he'll learn from it.
Did he address the team? Does he say anything?
What's that?
He address the team? Does he do anything?
No, not that I know of.
2 weeks of Aleem at practice. Now, is he at a point now, Dan, where you feel pretty comfortable with him being ready for Sunday? And if so, just what could his presence mean for you guys up front?
Yeah, I mean, he looked good last week. The last 2 weeks he's looked good. He's getting more comfortable. Legs are under him. He's physically ready, and so I think we're all hopeful.
Do you expect him to play Sunday, or is that it's still up for?
I'd love to believe so. I mean, I would. 58, 52, 48, 58. I don't know. We're it's what Jeremy. We're getting closer. I am starting to feel pretty good.
Back to the Branch thing for one sec. Just how do you make up for his loss? Obviously, a huge player. I mean, is that piecemeal back there?
Well, I mean, look, he is. He's an outstanding player for us, and so it's no different than when you lose guys that you really depend on and have a high production. The next guy's got to step up and serve a role for us, help us out, and then it's got to spread throughout the rest of your team. Man, everybody else has got to pull a little bit more of that load between the corners and the linebackers and the D-line and offense and special teams. So we just got to help each other out, Look, I mean, Harp went in the other day. He didn't play a ton, but it's what we have seen in practice. I mean, there's some stuff in there. There's a few things in there that are pretty encouraging. So, we don't have a problem with him being in there, and we'll play with what we got.
You said that he hasn't addressed the team to your knowledge, but what do you feel his level of contrition is for? You guys are shorthanded already. You're hurting in the back end. Missing him such a big piece.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There again, my job is to move forward here, and I know this. We don't have him, and so I can worry about that, or I can worry about what we do have and how we adjust. And so we'll find out on Kirby. I know we've got Harper, we got Strickland, we've got Rock, who can play safety and corner. We can play one safety and play four linebackers for all I care. I mean, we'll figure it out. Shep will have a good plan. We'll talk about what we need to do, and we'll have a plan ready, and we'll be ready to play Tampa Bay.
It's just your mindset preparing for the worst. Do you have any hope in the appeal process reversing this for Brian?
Well, I'm not, just because I don't want to think that way. If it happens, that's a bonus. Right now, I'm assuming he's out and he's not going to win it.
And just some thoughts on facing Baker Mayfield, the way he's playing, and this team comes in with the best record in the NFC.
They're playing hot football. It's a very good team. Baker is, you guys know, I got a lot of respect for Baker Mayfield, the way he plays, his leadership, his ability to push the ball down the field, make plays with his legs. I just think he's playing at a high level, So, he's a guy that gives them a chance. Anytime they're in a game, they play really good defense. They got a good old line. Like those guys are, man, they play hard. They're physical. They're tough. They have a run game. You know, they got a good teams unit. So it's a good team. It's a really good team.
I want to go back to something you said after the game. Maybe we needed this. How do you put those words to action after a loss like that this week? Like, how does that come to life?
Well, I just look. You don't ever want things to happen. Nobody wants to lose. We certainly don't want to lose. But it puts a little extra sense of urgency on you. It puts a little bit of just that bad taste, man. It just sometimes gives you that extra kick to get things back to where they need to be. Maybe you didn't quite see it, or maybe it's. Look, the other thing is that's a really good team, man. You got to be on point when you play really good teams, and that's what I love about the stretch that's coming. Is we're about to hit a row of them, right? A whole ton of them, and your margin for error is so small. And that's what I told the team today. I mean, that actually fires me up, because you have to be on point. You don't get the luxury of making a mistake here and makes mistake there against these type of teams that we're getting ready to play. And when you don't, and you do all the little things right, you learn another way to win, you start getting better. And this is the stuff that really gets you to where you want to be by the end of the year. Like so it's exactly what we need. It's going to be outstanding competition, and we'll be better for it. We will in the long run.
Maybe the answer is as simple as the injuries are different, but you've taken an approach with Decker where you've tried to get it calmed down to get him for the stretch run. With Kirby, you're kind of letting him dictate and play through it. You're trusting his opinion. What's the decision point there with shutting him down and letting it kind of get right for you the stretch run?
Yeah, I mean it'll be the same. I mean I would say it's very much the same if. If it's something we feel like, first of all, he can't produce, right? I mean, that'll always go that way. How much worse are you making this injury? Is it going to make it significantly worse? You're not going to have him by the end of the year. Okay, well, that doesn't make sense. All right, well, what if it's, you may not make it worse, but just being a little bit better is going to help his production go way up. The production is not there, right? He's not, A, maybe he can't finish the game. B, the guy behind him would be better off. Playing. So you have to weigh every one of those, and so we'll do that with Kirby. I mean, we'll reassess here. We saw the game the other day. He tried to gut through it, played most of the game. And look, it wasn't his best performance, but he'd tell you that too. He was giving us what he had, and so we'll have to reassess.
Officiating isn't your favorite thing to talk about, but regarding the trick play, you said in the past you've kind of run over those plays with the officials beforehand. Mm-hmm. At any point during that process, were you given assurance that the way you ran it was a legal play?
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't, and I'm sorry, Jeremy. I really, it's just, it's a real sore spot, and it's. I told the team, man, I take full responsibility for that. I do, and players did exactly what we told them to do. Golf did exactly what we told them to do. David did, and I will take that. Got to be, you got to make it very clear on where you are, and I did not do that, and I told them I take responsibility for that.
How about the penalty differential, just in general? They didn't have wasn't many on either way, but they weren't called for any penalties. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't. So
And,
Watching the film back, was there anything you were particularly encouraged by or discouraged by, or have your perspective changed on anything after watching the film?
I mean, it's what I thought. We fought, man. Fought our tail. We have some guys who played really, really good, man. DJ Reader played his tail off that whole game, start to finish, man. Even there on that last drive, I was really impressed, And we had a lot of guys that played really good football that had one bad play, one or two bad plays, and we just kind of took turns as to when those popped up, and that hurt a little bit, But I mentioned it, once you get in that type of game, it's more when those pop up, the timing of them, being able to overcome one with another unit or another player, or, we were a little out of sync. So we'll be all good.
your running back rotation has kind of flipped this year with Jameer earning kind of the starting role. When you kind of look back over the first quarter plus of the season, do you worry at all about the balance and maybe David not getting the portion of the pie that maybe you want him to or he's used to having?
Well, I think that's something that I always try to look at because we certainly don't want him, either one of them, getting too much. But I know that it's a little more tilted towards Jaw right now, and a lot of that comes in the 2-minute reps that we get. Now the other day we only had 6 of them, but a lot of times that's where that goes because he's normally in on that, and that can skew it. But I don't feel like we've gotten Jaw too much in a game yet necessarily. You know, I think he had like 36, 37 snaps the other night. And so I feel pretty good. But as far as balancing them out, I would like to balance them out. I would like to give David some more, find a place to get him a few more. And we were hoping we were going to be able to do that in the second half some more the other day. And it just, you know, kind of the way where the game went. We didn't convert on a couple of those series. We get in 4th and 10s, and that took away some of the runs and play passes, and then we were in a different type of game at that point.
Sure hope for
Davenport.
Terrion and Avante, any chance this week or after the bye? Is that more likely?
I think they're both probably after the bye. I do.
Marcus Davenport is eligible to come off IR this week. Is that close to happening?
I don't see that, not yet. He's doing well. He's getting better. We like where all those guys are at. I mean, we're going to be looking pretty good at the end of November, December, you know, which is awesome. But I don't see him being ready before the bye for sure.
Just super quickly, because we haven't asked about him in a while. Malcolm had the cleanup procedure on the ACL several months ago, put him a little bit behind Aleem. How close are you looking at with starting his clock?
Yeah, hopefully, we're hoping after the bye we can start rolling him out there a little bit, get him going.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, yep.